The Nature Conservancy's Mo'omomi Preserve is a rare coastal treasure, a last stronghold of a coastal dune ecosystem that has almost disappeared from the main Hawaiian Islands. In 1999, a handful of wedge-tailed shearwaters took up residence at Mo'omomi. The native seabirds had come to nest, digging burrows in the sand to safely rear their young. Today, in what has become a remarkable tale of recovery, the shearwaters are returning in ever greater numbers to recolonize an old ancestral home. This is their story.
The Nature Conservancy acquired Mo'omomi in 1988. It wasn't until 1999 one of our volunteers came back to our office and she said she found some wedge-tail shearwater nests. And so we went out there and sure enough there's 2 nests. In the year 2000, we went back out and lo and behold, there were now 20 nests. So that's when we decided as the Molokai staff we should start managing for the shearwater nesting because they're trying to establish a colony there.
Shearwaters spend most of their lives at sea, returning to land only to nest. They find their mate, redig their burrows, and become devoted parents, alternately guarding the single egg that will be their offspring.
The most amazing thing that I love about them is that they mate for life. I've been handling them for 17 years, and you're like, oh wow, they're together still yet. It's like, oh, if they can do it, we can do it. You create a connection with the birds.
Wedge-tailed shearwaters are not endangered, but development and predation have driven them from their coastal homes to the safety of offshore islets. To create a haven for their return, the Conservancy began expanding the available dune habitat.
So early on in the late 90s, we decided we gotta figure out a way to get rid of some of the Kiawe because the Kiawe was the main non-native species that was taking over the dunes. The result of this effort is that we removed a lot of Kiawe and a lot of it is now back into coastal dune ecosystem. So it's looking like it should and it's recovering nicely. And we call that passive restoration because we're not in there actively replanting the Kiawe removal areas. We're just letting the coastal dune area naturally take it over again.
From the beginning, the Conservancy also worked to control predators. Mongoose and feral cats had to be removed. Axis deer and wild dogs had to be fenced out.
The main 2 predators that affect the nesting birds is cats and dogs. By far, dogs are the most devastating. They do so much damage because they just kill the birds just to kill them and play with them.
We had one wild dog that came into the colony and he killed about 70 in one night. 10 years later, that part of the colony is still dead. The birds didn't return back to that area. It's sad to see that.
That's why we put up our predator/axis deer coastal fence. We're hoping now that coastal area and the vegetation as well as the wedge-tailed shearwater will be protected from both predators like dogs and cats and the axis deer who can trample the area real well.
In 2005, the Conservancy enlisted the support of the Maui Nui Seabird Recovery Project to start a banding program.
The main purpose of the banding is to find out more about these birds so that we can protect them better. We band twice a year, one in April, at night when the adults come back to nest.
By October, the preserve looks like a large maternity ward. That's when the chicks are banded. The team works during the day while the parents are out at sea foraging for food.
We'll get about 21 volunteers. There's about 3 people in each group. So there's a bander, a grabber, and a recorder. And you'll have people grabbing birds, sticking their arms in the burrows and bringing the birds out, holding them carefully. And the bander will put a band on. And that number stays with the bird for the rest of his life. Well, the Wedge-tailed shearwater colony, we wouldn't be successful without the help of our partners and all the volunteers that came out. They come out every year to band, to monitor, and I think they all feel a sense of joy that we have this huge collaboration. Everybody is putting in time into this colony to make it successful.
With 19 acres of dunes cleared of kiawe and few predators, the shearwater colony has exploded. There are now almost 1,500 nests and over 3,000 birds.
The fact that the wedge-tails are returning to Mo'omomi, it tells us that the area is really healthy. Because the ecosystem is healthy, species that is supposed to be there are returning.
I don't know if it's a sense of pride for me, but I feel a sense of relief for the birds that they're able to find a nice place that's suitable to repopulate their species.
When I go down there, it feels really good. Sometimes I feel like I'm a mommy going out and checking on all the babies, make sure all the birds are all right.
The shearwater colony at Mo'omomi is now one of the largest and best protected in the main Hawaiian Islands. It's a story that reminds us of how, with thoughtful stewardship, we can reclaim our environment. By protecting the plants and animals that share our world, we can help keep alive what is best in our own lives.